Hi, welcome back to Grief and Everything in Between with Sav Fiskio as your host, episode 2. All right, let's get into it. So, episode 2, I wanted to take the time to go over, I guess, my first initial big loss. That was my Nana. She went by Susie Q. My Nana was 76 years old. She had numerous amount of health problems. She had thyroid cancer. Weeks prior, she was placed on hospice. So she was comfortable. She was at home. She was in bed. They were there caring for her. I bring this up because, as I stated, I am also a hematology oncology nurse. I've seen cancer firsthand. I've seen families lose their loved ones. I've seen them grieve them for weeks knowing they've been placed on hospice or CMO as like my Nana, but nothing's going to prepare you for seeing that when the moment happens. I mean, it's human nature. That day, I've never really talked about it out loud. That day, I remember it like it was yesterday. Oh my God. So that morning, they were making my Nana comfortable with the morphine. She wasn't breathing properly. We had said our goodbyes the day prior, but my mom had texted me that her breathing, her work of breathing had increased and she probably didn't have much time left if I wanted to get one more kiss, one more hug in. So the person I am flew over there. Mind you, my Nana only lived 5 minutes away from me. So I flew over there as fast as I could, but I was unfortunately 1 minute too late. That moment sticks with me a lot. I guess being the middle child, I have claimed the strong one, the peacemaker, the people pleaser. I could go on, but it felt like I needed to be strong that day for my family, for my mom, for my grandpa. But I still, to this day, was not expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting to see a loved one placed into a body bag. That is something you cannot unsee. I am in no means blaming anyone for this. I wanted to stay there. I wanted to see my Nana taken away. I wanted to be there for my grandfather, but it's something that has shook me to my core still to this day. And I bring it up because I don't think it's talked about enough in the healthcare community, the nursing community. I mean, people make memes of it, dark humor. That's how us nurses roll. My favorite saying is, if I don't laugh, I will cry. I will cry. So a lot of us have to, dissociate. We learn to dissociate. We have to, push that shift aside, go into the next patient room, brush it off. But again, it is not talked about nearly enough mental health of nurses, healthcare workers who have a patient a day, an hour, several weeks. We grow to know these patients. We grow to know these family members. And then we are suddenly in a code and we're with that patient. We're cleaning that patient up and we are told to put this human being, this life in a bag and move on to the next room, the next med pass, the next chart, the next shift. And the trauma we see is heavy. It's heavy. And I know some of you out there who are listening, you're going to be like, well, you're a nurse. You signed up for it. You wanted this. Okay, I get that. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a place of we need to find outlets. I think there should be better supportive mental health therapy, communities. I know Instagram has brought a lot of amazing communities for nurses where, quite frankly, they can trauma dump. But I just think, I don't know, I just wish it was talked about more. I wish there was more community resources, a check-in maybe every month, every week with other nurses or managers or just meeting, checking in, because that stuff is traumatic. Now, it's traumatic with family members. It's traumatic as a nurse. End of the day, that's a human being. So I just wanted to bring that up. Part of my grief 10 years ago. I think about my Nana all the time. It was heavy. One of the reasons why I became a nurse, Charlie mainly, I did have a business degree. Met my husband, wanted to learn more, wanted to know more. Cancer. He had hematology, chronic blood cancer. My Nana had thyroid cancer. My grandpa is now fighting throat cancer. God bless him, went through radiation, chemo. And my uncle, is fighting not only CLL, but he is going through bladder cancer. He is going through extensive surgery in the coming weeks. So I'm praying for him, trying to keep a positive attitude for them. Sir has been a big part of my life, I guess you could say. Not just at work, but in my personal life. I say we need to talk about this trauma more and have better mental health, resolution opportunities for people because there is a lot of trauma based around my grief that I'm not necessarily ready to get into. One day I will, but with it being said, I have not been able to return to work because it hit so close to home. And I'm sure there's a lot of nurses out there. I am part of a group of women who have lost their husbands. Some of them are nurses. And I asked them personally, I said, were you able to return back to work? It not even like pertaining to their husband, like their specific unit. And they said no, they could not return back to work. Because my cup is so empty right now. I can't fill others. And that is something I'm trying to be gentle with, patient with, because I am used to going above and beyond, exerting myself to the point of burnout, exhaustion, go, 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 go. That's, what nurses do. That's what I do. I don't know who's at my house right now, but they just gave me a literal heart attack. I'm assuming it's a family member. I just nearly almost screamed. Okay. It's my mom, Brenda Lee. She doesn't like to call before she comes over. She just likes to, chop in as she pleases, which I'm not mad about. But yeah, I'm gonna pause and we'll get back into this. So, from near excitement of buying a mum today with her cousin Lori and Mike, she had to speed on over here and give it to me. That is Brenda Lee for you. So, off of that, with my grief, I just want to say, if you're a nurse, if you're not, if you're going through grief of your parent, a spouse, a sibling, a child, anything I did not mention, a miscarriage, all of those, a pet, oh my God, a pet. There are so many different aspects of grief, so many personal grief stories, and I want to come from a place where I want you to share that grief. I do not want you to push it down, even though how traumatic it may be. Just know you are not alone. Grief and everything in between is a community where we can share our grief freely, we can vent, we can share memories. This is a safe community. Now, I wanted to share one of my journal entries. As I said, I'll be sharing a lot of my journal entries. This one is dated May 16th at 3 o'clock. Homesick. Your inner child remembers what it feels like to be homesick. While going on your first vacation without your family or moving into a college dorm. Homesick. As you grow older, you realize home is not a place, it's a person. You find that person and you are home. Always at peace, always safe. Homesick. It's not a place, it's a person. But my person is not here. I feel homesick to my bones. Homesick. A house that no longer feels familiar. A bed that no longer feels like my bed. A mind that doesn't feel like mine. A thief of my identity. Homesick. The daily routine we used to have. The hugs you used to give. The hug you long for but can't have. The adventures we used to take but can no longer partake. Homesick. Of never knowing what could have been. Of knowing this feeling will never go away until I see you again. Of knowing, sadly, that could be for a very, very long time. Homesick. I just want to go home. July 2nd, 2025. 101 days. 101 days of not seeing that smiling face. 101 days of not hearing your laugh. 101 days of not hearing you stomp up the steps. 101 days of missing your scent. 101 days of missing your hugs. 101 days of missing our talks. And 1 days of not being able to go out in public. 101 days of not being able to forget the fate. 101 days of not being able to truly smile and laugh. 101 days, they said? Can you believe that? 101 days without my soulmate. 101 days, but it feels but one day. One day, we will meet again. And you'll say, where have you been all day? One day I'll see that smiling face. One day I'll hear your laugh. One day I'll hear you stomp up the steps. One day I'll smell your scent. One day I'll embrace your hug. One day, we'll have our talks. One day, we'll go back out in public. One day, fate will bring us back together. One day, I'll be able to truly smile and laugh. One day will feel just like one day. And those 101 days will melt away. I wrote this journal entry back in July, but it stands true to how I still feel today. Am in a part of my grief where I still have not fully accepted. I like to pretend that Charlie is out golfing. He is out with the boys. He is out working. I tell myself over and over and over again that I will see him again. It gives me a glimpse of hope when my mind is not busy and I have that realization of like, oh my God, this is real. This is my life. I read journal entries like this. I write journal entries like this. I talk out loud to Charlie a lot. I think that's something we should all do. If we don't necessarily have a way of healthy releasing our grief, it's healthy for me to journal, to podcast, to talk out loud to Charlie, to share my journal entries. It's been really the only thing getting me through it. It helps me feel like I'm not alone in it, like I won't necessarily drown from it all. Some days it does feel like that, like there is no light at the end of the tunnel, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I'm sharing my entries. It makes me feel like maybe there's a tiny, tiny, tiny little glimpse at the end of that tunnel called grief. I don't necessarily, I pretend that, Charlie is golfing or he's with the boys or he's working. I do this sometimes to just merely get through the day. It's not to dismiss my grief, to forget my grief. It's just a way of like, oh, if I need to go out to a wedding, I gotta hype myself up 2 days before. I gotta hype myself up on the way there. I gotta hype myself up during it. And then I crash for like 2-3 days. Like, I'm here to be honest. I've gone to 2 weddings this year, 2 people who mean a lot to me. And I have had a couple of drinks there, gotten through it, and come home and cry, sob for hours. It's that realization. It's like that truck just coming by and being like, yeah, it's been heavy. Very heavy those weekends. And by no means have these friends forced me to go. They've been very, very, very understanding, saying, I understand if you can't go. I get if it's a lot. Something that really meant the world to me, like struck me to my core, was the first wedding I attended. It was a friend of Charlie and I. They had, in loving memory, a sign, not only a sign, but pictures of her father. They also made it a point to have a picture of Charlie and our friend together. They had his prayer card and a shot of JMO. That meant the world to me. That was them showing their love for not only me, for Charlie, my family, their friendship. I had never seen such compassion. I'm still stunned about it. Charlie's friends are like brothers to me. And that night I felt very seen because they wanted to talk about him as much as I want to talk about him. That means a lot to me. That keeps him alive. They pulled me aside at one point of the wedding and said, come on, Sav, we're doing a shot of JMO for Char. I was taken back. I was like, are you guys serious? Yeah, we brought you a shot of JMO. We have shots of JMOs. Let's go do it outside. Sunset for Charlie. I was mind blown. Mind blown. It means the world to me. They saw me. They saw my sister-in-law. They see what we're going through. They're going through it. I mean, these are friends of Charlie's who have been around 10 plus years. I'm talking like middle school, high school, college. They're my brothers. And I want to give them that shout out, and I love them and I appreciate them. And it made the whole night way, 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 way more, I'm not even going to say tolerable. That's not the word I want to use, but it just felt like they had my back and my sister-in-law's back, and it's something I'll never forget. It's such a small thing that my friends, Casey and Jeff, did for me, and I'll never forget it. And I just want to shout them out how amazing they are. And if you have friends out there who will be attending your wedding, soon. I think doing little things like that just makes them, very appreciative, seen, not so alone, even if it's like a simple card. And I'm not saying you have to do anything. I get that it's their day, it's their wedding day. They shouldn't have to be thinking of anyone but themselves. And I'm totally for that. It was just like them going the extra mile. It was surreal for me, and I will forever cherish our friendship. Now, I bring all of this up because, like I said, for this podcast, going to keep it real, raw content. It is like almost like a brain dump podcast for me. Um, it's helping me process my own grief, my own feelings. I mean, ever since I can remember, I've been known as a chatty Cathy. My mom likes to tease me because back in, I don't know, kindergarten, we went on our first family Cape Cod trip. And apparently I took off for a couple of minutes when we got to the hotel and was introducing myself to the wait staff, the hotel workers. I don't know. I have no recollection of this, but apparently I did it. And apparently they got really good food, service, okay? Hotel service. They would call in for room service, and my mom and dad would laugh because they would be like, "Are you Savannah's parents from Connecticut?" Yeah, they are. Yeah. Truth? I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm here. One of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast, talking. I say brain dump because everything in this podcast, I mean, it's grief-based. It's heavy. I talked about the journal entry of 101 days. I don't know if any of you picked up on it when I stated 101 days. I have not gone out in public. That is God honest truth. It took weeks, months for me to be able to go back into a restaurant, a store, a public place other than a drive-through or therapy. And I'm not labeling that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just putting it out there that you are not alone if it's taken you a very long time to be able to go back out into society. I think with this being said, it's not talked about enough how when you do go back out in public and you do go back out into the world, we are no longer the same version of ourselves that people know and love. I am not the same Sav I was a couple of months ago. That Sav, frankly, had her best friend, her husband, whole different mindset. I have a whole new identity I have to rebuild. It is not built. I am new. I am fresh in this wound, this grief. And a lot of people have thanked me for being so open with my grief. And I appreciate you thanking me. And I will continue to be open and real with my grief. And I just, again, from the bottom of my heart, we need to be patient. We need to be kind with people who are grieving, just in general, because we are not the same person. We are not the same person. And that goes for all of us. Like me, I'm not the same person. I don't get to be that wife, that best friend anymore, Like it can go the same way for my sister. She doesn't get to be that sister-in-law anymore. My sister, Alexis, and Charlie had an amazing relationship. I have an amazing relationship with Charlie's parents, with Charlie's sisters. They are my sisters. They are my parents. I saw this meme, this post the other day, and it said, when you find the right family, the word in-law is dropped and you're just family. And that is true. That is so, so, so true. And I am so unbelievably blessed to have such amazing in-laws. I say the word in-laws. No, parents, sisters. Charlie gave me the best family possible. I love them all to death, to the moon and back. That is something that has really, really helped me. I guess I don't like the word strong, but be strong in my grief. Having them, having their love, having their time, their input, their insights. They're just family to me. I love them dearly. I love my nieces and nephews, and some people I know may not have that. And that is again why I'm doing this podcast. I want to be there for those who don't have that support, maybe don't have that relationship. I know I'm blessed with that. And I don't take that for granted for a day. And I bring this up because in this episode, I want to make it known that Charlie's parents, Susan and Bob Fiskio, set up a foundation in Charlie's name It is through the Branford Community Foundation. This foundation that they put together is amazing. It's going to help so many people in the community, in the Branford, Connecticut community. It's going to help middle schoolers, people going into high school. So I just want to take a moment to go over that foundation. It means a lot to me, this fund that they have set up in Charlie's name. I'm just going to read about it. It is linked in my Instagram bio. Please feel free to donate, share, comment. So the Fiskio family has established the Charlie Fiskio Fund. The fund is in honor of our son, brother, and husband, Charles R. Fiskio, and it is dedicated to helping a Brantford middle school student pursue a specific passion, including, but not limited to, a hobby, art form, or sports activity. Charlie was fortunate enough to have been supported by many individuals who recognized his potential and encouraged him to pursue his passions in not only sports, music, and business, which brought him much joy and sense of purpose and belonging. Purpose and belonging. That was a lot. I'm going off tangent here. That was big to Charlie. Purpose and belonging. This fund is intended to continue the acts of encouragement and giving, offering similar opportunities to others who, with a little help, could embrace their own passions and have dreams as big as Charlie's. This foundation obviously means a lot to me, means a lot to his family, friends, coworkers, community. I encourage each and every one of you, if you have someone you want to start a foundation for, look into it. Look into your community. Branford Community Foundation does an amazing job. This fund is going to help, like I said, a lot of kids. And this is a restricted scholarship fund, so we don't get to pick the child who gets it. The teachers, the council, the community, they pick the children each year. And I think it's amazing how Charlie's legacy is going to live on and help people do the things that they love, to have purpose and belonging. Charlie was my purpose and belonging, and I'm going to continue to make him my purpose and belonging. Hence the podcast, hence the golf tournament. I was in a huge shock, huge denial in the beginning of my grief. I still am. But one thing that immediately got me out of bed, going, was we're doing a golf tournament. I remember texting his friends being like, do you think we can pull off a golf tournament this year? Without hesitation, his friends and his siblings, my siblings, were like, hell yeah, we can. Hell yeah, let's do it. So I started calling up places. I called Lyman Orchards in Milford. Wow, brain, grief, Milford. No, it's not in Milford. I'm laughing at myself right now in my head internally. Anyway, Lyman Orchards Golf. We called them up. They had August 3rd available this year. That was something I poured my heart and soul into. They all did. We got sponsors, donors. Let that sink in. That is a testament to how amazing my husband is. That is max amount of teams. It was an amazing event. I don't even think I've fully processed it yet. It took a lot for me to be there that day. My therapist was even leading up to it, not concerned, but talking through it, shocked, amazed, proud that I went through with it. I mean, looking back now, I'm very grateful that we did it. We were able to raise so much money for this foundation through this golf tournament. We'll be hosting this golf tournament every year in honor of Charlie. There will be a website coming soon, a nonprofit coming soon. It was amazing. I mean, the t-shirts, the photos. Huge shout out to my friend Haley and Bernie. They took amazing photos of this day. We had a content creation fall through, so they stepped up. They came through. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Friends reaching out to people, setting up teams. My sister-in-law is making Google Docs, and my sister and Tim Cabral. I mean, amazing. I just still from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you so much. All the donations, the banners, all the restaurants. I mean, I could list off a few that come right to my head. Joya in New Haven, The Ordinary, New Haven, Hidden Kitchen, Shoreline. I mean, Salt Brick Prime. I mean, there's just so many people in the community who really, really came through. We had some cool, very, very amazing raffles. Charlie and I were huge Bruins and Patriots fans. The Patriots sent a box in honor that I got to raffle off at this tournament. The Bruins signed a David Pastrnak poster that I got to raffle off. That was amazing. I mean, just like big corporations and small business, small donors, small sponsors, everything that came all together that day. It was just like a testament to how amazing Charlie is. That boy was a bigger go home kind of guy. When he loved something, he went full-fledged. I love it. Golf, that was his love. I mean, this kid. Not only was it talked about constantly in our house, I mean, he had 2 night leagues he played in, which I adored. I thought, on the weekends he would golf. He had many friends who would golf. One of my fondest memories is golfing in Ireland with Charlie. This kid, he was big or go home. I mean, golfing was life. It was part of, his identity. And I thought it was amazing. I mean, it was part of our vows, both of ours, which I will get into at another time, but it was a mere pastime in our house. So I knew that the tournament needed to be done. It's going to continue for a very long time. And I just want to thank my friends, my family, and community from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the work that was put in. It was amazing. And I can't wait for next year. Like I said, if you want to learn more about this fund, please visit my Instagram. The link is in my bio. There are also many, many, many amazing scholarships, funds on this page. Please look into them. One of them is Charlie's aunt, Peggy Welch. She was a nurse for many, many, many years. Her fund was started by her sisters, Linda, Ginger, and Susie. They started this fund in her name. It will go to a high schooler each year who is pursuing nursing in college. I mean, there's many, many amazing funds. So look into your community, look into something that you could start for your person, your legacy. It's just, even if they don't have a hobby like that, I mean, you can make it into a scholarship fund. You can host a run, get creative. I think it's something amazing. It's how I will keep his legacy alive for years to come. And I just want it to become bigger and better every single year and raise money for these middle schoolers. I mean, I want to make change in the community. So yeah, on that note, I think that's where we're going to end episode 2. Thank you for listening. Again, from the bottom of my heart, please subscribe and listen in for the next episode. Bye.